Picture England's worst monarch knee-deep in literal mud and metaphorical failure. King John, Lackland, Plantagenet getting historically mugged by a puddle. This decrepit clown didn't just misplace his kingdom's glittering crown jewels. He let 6 centuries of royal drip sink into a swamp while fleeing peasant revolts faster than a CEO dodging SEC fines. But here's the ultimate cosmic joke. The man who pissed off 125 nobles so badly they forced him to sign the Magna Carta, basically medieval Yelp reviews, died bowel first hours after his bling's Houdini act. And humanity needed 800 years to autopsy his diarrhea. Sweet Newton's corpse, even our forensic incompetence needs a trophy. Of course, this walking malpractice suit lost England's entire treasury. This is a man whose political strategy made modern tech support look like Sun Tzu. When his caravan hit the Wash Estuary's tidal marshes in October 1216, John apparently shouted, "Full speed ahead," like a drunk Tesla owner ignoring flood warnings. Chronicles claim the ground opened and swallowed men, horses, and treasure, which historians dismiss as exaggeration until you realize this jackass wrote Yelp reviews while marching 60,000 soldiers, including archers carrying pack mules of gold through quicksand. Imagine Elon Musk trying to transport Twitter's server racks through a sewage leak. Same energy, but the piece de resistance. His cause of death wasn't some battlefield blaze of glory. Oh no. After losing England's balls in the mud, John hightailed it to Newark Castle, where his body rage-quit existence via dysentery so violently, monks reported his corpse continued erupting for days post-mortem. The man essentially became a biological Chernobyl. Yet historians spent 8 centuries debating whether he ate a surfeit of peaches or got poisoned. Where's your critical thinking, academics? Ever heard of Occam's toilet brush? Modern archaeologists still dredge that marsh with metal detectors like karaoke singers chasing lost dignity. My grad school roommate wasted 3 summers waist-deep in that sewage-smelling sludge looking for John's crown between pints of lager. Found 1 rusted horse spur and a crippling staph infection. Why the obsession? Because this failure isn't history, it's a genetic trait. Every time you lose your keys or crash Excel minutes before deadline, you're tasting John's legacy. Those jewels aren't hidden. They're laughing at us from the same dimension where Netflix buffering spins exist. Still think your rock-bottom moments are bad. At least dirt never called you God's anointed monarch before yeeting your credibility into a peat bog like seasonal depression. So picture England in 1216, a dumpster fire wrapped in a hurricane, with John Plantagenet playing pyromaniac in chief. You've got 40% of his own nobles cosplaying as French patriots because John treated Magna Carta like toilet paper. Meanwhile, Philip Augustus across the channel's packing more warships than a Venom Bayuthu group. But our boy John, he's speed-running logistical suicide trying to haul England's entire treasury north to fund his little temper tantrum war. 90 wagon loads of gold crown jewels through the one-terrain medieval GPS would have marked with a skull emoji the Wash Estuary. 8 square miles of tidal quicksand that slurps armored knights like tapioca pearls. His advisors basically waved red flags screaming, "Sire, maybe don't play Frogger with century-old Fabergé eggs." But John's ego operated like a self-driving Tesla autopilot straight into calamity. Because detours are for peasants who don't believe divine right includes seabed jewelry storage. It's the medieval equivalent of your drunk uncle insisting he knows a shortcut through a construction zone during flash floods while his divorce papers burn in the glove box. Except, instead of totaling a Chrysler minivan, you're burying royal scepters worth £3.4 million sterling in modern money enough to buy about 12,000 warhorses, or 1 slightly used Boris Johnson career. Historians love debating whether rebels ambushed his baggage train or if high tide rolled in like nature's repo man. But let's apply Occam's chainsaw here. This is the guy who lost Normandy because he stopped to plunder his own supply wagons. What's more plausible, coordinated rebel tactics, or John face-planting into entropy again? Witness the anatomy of fail. October 9th, Tide charts screaming, absolutely fucking not. John's convoy wades into salt marshes thicker than Coldplay lyrics. You can practically hear the mule's internal dialogue. Why are we cosplaying as Atlantis porters? Within hours, jewelry heavier than adult regrets meets terrain less stable than crypto valuations. Some poor squire probably watched the crown jewels sink while thinking, there go my kneecaps. Freeze frame that moment, England's entire sovereignty vanishing into primordial ooze like Elon Musk's reputation. The ultimate "you had one job" blunder, made possible by monarchy's core trait, treating red flags like carnival decorations. Modern CEOs exhibit identical IQ dips during quarterly earnings calls. Ever seen a tech bro power point his way into ignoring server capacity warnings before a global launch? Same chromosomal deficiency that convinced John that 80 wagons could outmaneuver physics and coastal geography. My third cousin Larry tried this in 2012 driving a U-Haul through a shallow flooding zone because Google Maps can't tell me what to do. His Velvet Elvis collection still fertilizes Louisiana bayous. History isn't cyclical, it's a group chat where no one learns anything. Meanwhile, the noble's revolt was escalating funnier than Twitter replies half his army halfway to Parisian allegiance, crown regalia now decorating a crab's dining room. All because John Plantagenet couldn't swallow 1 teaspoon of, maybe let's take the paved road. His persistence echoes in every Karen refusing masks because my chiropractor said immunity comes from crystals, or flat earthers building rocket sleds. Human evolution peaked when we invented sarcasm. We needed to survive facepalms this nuclear. Imagine being such a dumpster monarch you make quicksand look like a rational planner. The baronial rebellion wasn't just knocking, it was kicking down the door with a medieval SWAT team screaming, "Open up, it's real consequences." Picture every Elon Musk Twitter poll backfiring simultaneously while his board members sharpen guillotine blades in the background. John's solution: triple down on stupid. After losing the literal symbols of divine right, he immediately demanded Lincolnshire peasants haul replacement crowns from Nottingham Castle, because nothing screams authority like discount tin jewelry rattling in a piss bucket wagon. Modern parallel. Remember when the Ranos tried rebranding after getting exposed for fraud by pivoting to finger-prick COVID tests? That's Plantagenet math. Fails so catastrophically that looping back around to delusional optimism becomes performance art. The tidal marshes didn't just swallow the treasure, they performed a hostile corporate takeover of English sovereignty. Those crown jewels now belong to the ecosystem. Imagine Jeff Bezos losing Amazon's entire server farm to a Louisiana swamp during a hurricane, then screaming at catfish to give back his hard drives. That's John's legacy, history's most expensive game of Marco Polo, played with national treasures in waist-deep sewage. Which brings us to our modern yutzes in deep-sea suicide tubes. Stockton Rush didn't invent hubris, he just strapped it to a carbon fiber coffin and called it innovation. Same as John ignoring his scouts screaming, "The wash has tides, dumbass," while he sent jewelers to map escape routes across quicksand. What's deadlier? Crushing ocean pressure or the gravitational pull of entitled stupidity? Neither. It's the accountants realizing your insurance policy excludes monarch/submersible operator brain worms. Pause and comment. Worst time you ignored obvious danger? Go on, confess in the comments before I judge you. Meanwhile, John's nobles smelled weakness like crypto bros sniffing a dying stablecoin. He couldn't even bluff anymore. The royal vault now contained 6 soggy pearls and a depressed hermit crab wearing the state ruby. Every failed leader's blueprint. Double down until reality breaks. See Elizabeth Holmes lowering her voice further as investors ask where the blood machines are, or Zuckerberg betting Meta's future on legless VR avatars. Here's the autopsy report. Power turns brains into carnival cotton candy, all fluff, no nutrients. Whether it's 13th century monarchs or 21st century tech titans, ignoring physics for vibes guarantees one outcome: nature itemizing your idiocy in permanent red ink. John didn't just lose a crown, he accidentally funded the world's most luxurious lugworm habitat. Picture the crown jewels sinking into human excrement while royal accountants hyperventilate into parchment. October 1219. John's treasure caravan enters the wash at low tide because apparently this mud looks shallow bro, was medieval GPS. Treasury clerks later testified servants spent 3 hours rescuing a single silver spoon as 18 carts dissolved into the sludge bureaucratic heroism at its finest. Meanwhile, the king was 30 miles south cramming peaches into his face hole like a bear prepping for hibernation. Blissfully unaware liquid death approached his own bowels with equal enthusiasm. Modern equivalent. Elon Musk betting Twitter's survival on a poop emoji while engineers scream about server racks melting. Or that time Uber executives deleted incriminating evidence during a God view scandal while Travis Kalanick practiced Zen meditation. Tyrants share one instinct. When crisis hits, dispatch interns to die in your place while you binge-eat mascarpone. Bonus tragedy. John's dysentery-causing peach orgy occurred at Swineshead Abbey because nothing screams divine punishment like dying in a town named after pig craniums. Here's the kicker: rotting like 13th century sewage. Nobody reclaimed the loot. Not because of tidal danger, but because the wash served as London's main diarrhea canal. Marsh quicksand trapped jewels beneath 3 centuries of noblemen's discarded oyster suppers and English arse gravy. Imagine today's equivalent Bezos losing Amazon's entire cash reserves in a New Jersey landfill while tweeting diamond hand emojis. The soldier's report should have terminated John's bloodline through sheer embarrassment. At approximately 3 bells, His Majesty's diamond scepter vanished beneath effluence. 3 peasants waded in to retrieve it but were dissolved down to their toenails. Shall we bankrupt the realm searching for it, sire? Spoiler: they did not. Instead, they changed auditing standards to declare swamp assimilation a legitimate expenditure category. Real talk. Losing national wealth in literal shit isn't rock bottom. Rock bottom is watching a hospice-bound king demand more peaches while whispering the Marsh was treason, then croaking mid-bowel explosion, leaving England broker than a McMafia crypto scheme. Yet we keep rerunning this farce. FTX's Sam Bankman-Fried playing League of Legends while billions evaporated, or British Parliament screaming Brexit means Brexit. As the economy dove into the English Channel. Final score: lost jewels, 238 kilos of gold historical legacy, a cautionary tale for landfill investors' last meal, 47 peaches and enough cider to drown a horse ultimate insult. Archaeologists now comb the wash using metal detectors that beep non-stop from centuries of discarded chamber pots. Humanity's treasures inevitably end up where we've always directed them, knee-deep in our own waste, applauded by morons. But history loves its pratfalls in triplicate. 13 years post-Marsh debacle, John's corpse erupted during a funeral procession in Worcester. Actual methane detonation. Witnesses described a vile, cauliflower-shaped mushroom cloud, scattering pallbearers like bowling pins. Imagine your legacy climaxing as a bacterial weapon, the man who lost treasure in excrement becoming excrement with artillery privileges. Archaeologists later found his lead coffin warped like a soda can crushed by an angry gym bro. Forensic analysis suggested dysentery so catastrophic, his intestines became a kombucha brewery for extremophile microbes. Let me contextualize how fitting this end was. Then, a king literally dissolving England's wealth into a fecal quagmire now. Crypto bros incinerating retirement funds on meme stocks, then blaming market vibes. WTF parallel. Scientists recently proposed using John's exhumed gut flora to develop probiotics for astronauts. Even in death, he's supplying the galaxy with premium-grade shit. The universe rubber-banded this tragedy into fractal comedy. In 1865, Victorian engineers building a railway through the Wash Marsh uncovered partial crown jewels, a single gold clasp confirmed as John's. Where's the rest? Dissolved into microscopic nanoparticles currently circling the Thames estuary. Your drinking water contains royal legacy molecules. Bottled irony for $9.99 at Whole Foods. Modern retellings whitewash this as a tragic accident. Bullshit. This was a dude who taxed rain puddles, imprisoned pigeons for treasonous cooing, and once declared war on France because a peasant laughed at his shoes. Losing the crown jewels was merely his NFT phase, an expensive, public-facing humiliation, proving rulers and influencers share one brain cell passed around like a vape pen. John's true epitaph wasn't carved in stone. It's the 2012 incident when Cambridge scientists tried extracting DNA from his tomb. The secondary gas release triggered evacuation protocols and gifted us a peer-reviewed journal titled Postmortem Flatulence in Medieval Monarchs, Climate Implications. His final act, turning academic research into a literal piss take. Fact: monks secretly bombed his remains with quicklime post-blast to neutralize lingering odors. Even decomposing, John required chemical warfare containment. Analogy: he's the Elizabeth Holmes of monarchy, a grifter whose entire reign was a fraudulent IPO of incompetence, capped by a biochemical meltdown. Ultimate insult: children's history books depict him heroically losing jewels. Reality: he died hiding in a swamp after also losing England, France, and basic bowel control, a human participation trophy. So why do we keep spawning John 2? 0. Consider every CEO who torpedoes a company for yacht money, or politicians treating nuclear codes like TikTok challenges. Evolution has a glitch. Our neural wiring rewards short-term chaos over long-term survival. John's Marsh disaster was the 13th century equivalent of rage twittering your resignation during a shareholder meeting. We're not learning from history. We're streaming it on pay-per-view. The transaction is clear. Act like a clown. Become archived as circus footage. Leave enough stupidity echoing through time and some podcast bro will eventually monetize your face on a How Not to Live merch line. CTA, subscribe now or risk being the next cautionary tale we mine for dark tourism revenue. Your future biographers are judging you.